Shabbat Shalom for sunset February the 20th through sunset February the 21st, 2026, here on Following Him, the Disciple Life, because true rest and true peace is in the Christ. The Sabbath is a reminder of how God cares. The Sabbath law, as was given to the nation of Israel, to the people that were eventually called the Jewish people, was not just given to give them restriction. It was something done for them. How do I know? Because when God took on flesh, He taught this very directly. In a rebuke against the abuse of the Sabbath law and taking the Sabbath law further than it was intended, Jesus says in Mark 2:27, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. The Pharisees had taken certain aspects, certain portions of the Torah, and had added stipulations and regulations and additional restrictions, and had worked out all this minutia and had all these additional traditions. And the Sabbath law was extended further than what God ever intended. The Sabbath law, when you look into how it's worded in the Decalogue, was about rest from your labor that you did throughout the week. And yes, we do have, for example, the incident where the man is put to death for gathering wood or picking up sticks. And somebody might say, well, even that, that shows that they couldn't do the littlest thing. Well, you look at where he was picking up sticks, where he was gathering wood. They're in this desert region. It would have been a much more laborious thing, arduous thing for him to be doing that labor. That would have been the sort of thing that he should have done before then. This was done out of disrespect for God's law. This was something laborious he was doing because of the conditions. So no, that does not show that God wanted them to, just not do the tiniest little thing. They had taken the Sabbath law and made it something that man was serving, and missing that this was something that God had done for them. So what's my point? My point is that this law that was given to the nation of Israel, now this was part of the old covenant. It is not binding on us under the new covenant, and I have mentioned that before, and I'll do more material on that in the future. But this commandment, it shows that God cares. He was giving them something to allow them to take a break, to rest. And of course, with this, there were deeper theological truths that are ultimately seen, because this portion of the Torah, this commandment, looks to the ultimate rest that is found in the Christ. So the Sabbath law, it's one more way that Yahweh God showed, and through the Word still shows, that He cares. You have a great rest of the evening, and Shabbat Shalom.